day, students. So we're continuing the list of lecture briefs that we had previously. So today we're going to cover another lecture of the course Entertainment Industry. I'm the lecturer, Tolijan Siktaevich Parmakhanov. So today we're going to cover the lecture of the week 10. As you remember, the topic was management of amusement, theme, and water parks. Usually we had the lecture outline that consists of 3 parts. At the beginning, we usually had the overview of previous lectures. Then we had the new lecture, and at the end of the lecture, we usually had an assignment. This time, we are going to skip the overview of the lecture of the previous ones because we don't have much time to spend. So right now, I'm going to go directly to the lecture that we are going to cover today. So this lecture is the lecture of the week 10. The topic is again management of amusement and theme and water parks. So let's start with the term. What is AT&W? AT&W is basically an acronym that we use to talk about amusement, theme, and water parks. And when we talk about the water park, basically let's start with the amusement park. So what is the amusement park? Amusement park is the park that features various attractions, such as rides, roller coasters, and different games, as well as other events for entertainment purposes. The theme park is a type of amusement park that is based around a theme. It structures, the central theme that often featuring multiple areas with different themes. The example is the Walt Disney or Disney World that we talked about during the previous lectures. As you remember, it had several distinct areas with the central theme. Some of them were dedicated to the water parks. They had the Magic Kingdom, Tomorrowland, Pirates of the Caribbean, and the other themes. Water park is actually a type of a theme park that is structured around a theme that is all about the water, and all the rides include water. That is why we should wear a bathing suit, and be able to, be ready to be wet. So unlike temporary and mobile fun fairs and carnivals, amusement, theme and water parks are stationary and built for long-lasting operations. Here, just briefly, let's say that amusement is a type of entertainment that is about the sense of being amused, and entertainment is entertainment does include amusement, but usually entertainment in English, it also means and covers the topics like live entertainment, mass media entertainment, electronic games, and the others. But amusement is the term that distinctly is used to talk about the parks where we have rides, games, and roller coasters. So let's now start with the organizational structure of the amusement, theme, and water parks. Usually, this type of organizations have different facilities, and they are very complex. But some of these structures, divisions, can be seen in common organizations. For example, the accounting and finance, government relations, legal. By the government relations and the legal is those departments that deal with different state agencies that let them have the different roller coasters assembled and organized. Otherwise, they are going to be prohibited because the rides, roller coasters, they are sometimes very kind of dangerous, and they should have their limitations and different legal documents that will allow them to work. That is why they usually have these departments, then the human resources that kind of hire people, like lost control, that keeps the organization flowing, development, yeah, for the future, like strategy, information technologies. Nowadays, without that, nothing can happen. Purchasing, this is about supplies. Marketing, this is about attracting different, like attracting potential and future customers. Environmental affairs, yeah, we should make sure that the park does not harm the environment, and even though it attracts a lot of people, yeah, it still is kind of sustainable. Then we have the support services and operations, and we're mostly going to today talk about them. So the support services are about grounds, about landscaping, parking, waste management, engineering and maintenance of those parks, and operations have food and beverage, attractions, entertainment, retail, security, custodial, wardrobe, and transportation, and the other departments. So today we're going to cover the operational divisions of the AT and W parks. So basically we're going to talk about foods and beverage, like division, merchandise division, attractions, custodials. We're going to talk about front and entrance ticketing. We're going to talk about security, ground maintenance, and entertainment. So food and beverage is the division of the park that is responsible for the like spread and the delivery of food and beverages. That is usually conducted on the main street. Yeah, this is an example of the Disney park. Yeah, so they have a central street, which is called the main street, and they have different like retail shops, food and beverage providers on the both sides. They have like a tramway, and this way, like Main Street, starts from the railway station and goes directly to the like Magic Kingdom, where the castle is located. The merchandise is about the things that we can buy there. Those parks, I mean, the amusement theme and water parks usually are and like are partnering with some entertainment organizations. For example, the Disney uh, uh, can sell some goods from their different franchises like Mickey Mouse, like Pirates of the Caribbean, and the other like themes, for example, including like fairy tales and the others. The other parks, for example, the Six Flags can sell merchandise that is related to the Universal Studios. They used to sell stuff that is related to the Batman and the other superheroes. The Universal Park, yep, the Six Flags is related to the Warner Brothers, yeah, and the Universal has its own park. So the other revenue source is the merchandise, where different goods, like the tangible ones, are sold. Here is an example of like the Disney merchandise. They usually have their stores inside where we can buy something for as a souvenir, or just buy something for ourselves and for our kids or nieces and nephews. The other one is, of course, the attractions. Attractions is kind of the main reason we go there, go to the park. The parks usually have different attractions, and the key thing there to know and to kind of remember is that we have the attraction itself, and we have line, yeah, where the people wait for their turn to ride the roller coaster like game or the other thing. Here we should mention that if you are going to work in there, yeah, you can work either as a person who operates the attraction, or the person who works with the crowd and makes sure that the person who is going to take a ride suits all the requirements. Usually the requirements are related to the age, weight, then the height. Yeah, so some attractions do not allow like tall people, some do not allow like short people, some some are like dangerous for the fat people, and some are dangerous for the skinny ones. That is why we should remember that, and we should be able to work with them. Then the custodial. Custodial is basically usually seen as a person who works and is responsible for cleaning, but in a larger like parks, it is not the only case, because custodials, I mean, the theme amusement and water parks are usually huge. That is why the custodial is not only the person who is responsible for uh, picking, picking trash, yeah, and keeping the place clean, but also they are responsible for providing additional information. So here's an example of a person who is dressed as a custodial, and he is responsible for cleaning, but also he is the contact person who can give additional information to the guest and basically solve their problems, or basically tell them how to get to the main station and then leave the park. Here we have a badge of the custodial guest service, yeah, of the Disney park. The front and entrance, yeah, and also the ticketing is kind of the part of the park where the tickets are bought, yeah, and where we have the people who are controlling and seeing the people, and they are making sure that nobody is going to like harm those people who are inside. So we usually have some security stuff around it too. Here I would like to mention that usually parks have different passes, like the regular pass that will let you in the park, but also we have like free pass and the other passes that will let you or let the guest walk around and let path lines without waiting. Yeah, but still, of course, they are designed that way, so you are still going to wait, but you are going to not wait in the line in person, but you are going to like say, I would like to go to this attraction. Then you're going to like sign up to that. Usually you have something like a cell phone or a mobile app. Then the app or the cell phone or the other equipment will tell you that you have about like 30 minutes to wait until your line comes. And then as soon as your line comes, you can just go to the park, go to the attraction and ride it. And that is basically how it works. As the employee, as the person who works in that department, you should be able to work with the crowd. You should know how the ticketing works, and you should be able to take the cash and work with the money. But in the 21st century, we have POS terminals and different other like billing methods that can be used that will help you to work with that. But in this case, a person who works in that department should know how to work with those equipments, those like POS terminals, and the other things. Security. Security was and is always important, but especially in the United States after 9/11, it had faced a bit of change, and nowadays it is really important. And security is responsible for keeping the place safe. Usually the parks have their own security, and that security is responsible for the whole park, and they are responsible for making sure that nobody, for example, is drunk or harming something or breaking the facilities of the park, and everything is according to the plan. Also, the security is responsible for, after the closure of the park, they're responsible for making sure that nobody is staying or living in there, and they're responsible for managing the crowd during the line and etc. Here we have the example that you can see in the picture. Ground maintenance. Ground maintenance is basically the department which is responsible for the landscaping, and kind of designing the space. Yeah, here we have the examples. Yeah, we have 2 railway stations, yeah, of the Disney park, and basically the ground maintenance in this case, they are responsible for designing and working with the ground, fertilizing, pruning, pest management, general ground maintenance, and the other things are done by them. Usually they are paid well, and usually they require working with hand, cleaning and maintaining the space. And of course, the last one is the entertainment. So entertainment is the department which is responsible for entertaining. This is all about mascots that walk and entertain the guests, especially the younger ones. Uh, we said that, for example, the Disney locates, the first one locates not far from the LA, Los Angeles. That is why the entertainment department of the amusement park is basically the first place where the students of arts, yeah, those who are planning to become artists, usually start their career. So here we have, for example, the number of characters from the Disney cartoons, animations, who are dancing and performing on the stage. So basically, this is a great opportunity and a great place to start your career in the artistic fields. So that is basically what we were supposed to cover during this lecture. So you'll have 2 main assignments. The first one is to choose an amusement theme water park chain, for example, Six Flags, Universal, Legoland, and the others, and define its infrastructure. Focus on the facilities and attractions. The second assignment is to describe chosen amusement theme water park chains, operational divisions, and write the list of its employment positions. So basically talk about their staff and what they do. During this lecture, we have covered briefly it. Hopefully you have enjoyed the lecture and were able to kind of review them, and now you remember what we have talked before. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. Thank you.